Pick Your Poison is a now famous series where you suddenly have to root for a different team because you love baseball too damn much and you don't want to just watch to watch. So, which team do you want to ride the rest of the way? And it becomes more difficult as we progress here in the postseason. But it's the perfect day to have KP on the show to talk about the Toronto Blue Jays and why some baseball fans should adopt the team in Canada the rest of the way. KP, you played for this team for a long time. You know this franchise well, the way they treat their fans, the way they treat players, the fact that they haven't won since 1993, over 30 years ago. Tell us why some fans who don't know the Blue Jays organization well should grab them for the next few weeks.
Where do I start? Where do I start? Um, Unbelievable fan base, super deserving of winning, very passionate. Like you mentioned, they haven't won since the early 90s, but they still come out and support their team. They love baseball. They love all their sports. They're starving for a winner. They come in year in and year out to support this team. Reasons if you're a fan and your team's no longer in it, why you should root for the Blue Jays. I have a couple of notes here I wrote down. During that Yankees series, they had 8 guys with 2+ RBIs. They had 18 two-strike hits. And in game 4, facing a guy in Cam who struck out 12 Red Sox in the wild card round, I need someone to check these stats, but I think they only had 4 swing and misses. So if you want to watch exciting and a fun brand of baseball where you're not just waiting for one guy to hit a home run or they're going to strike out or they're going to walk and be this 3 outcome team, this team is always exciting to watch. Their at bats are incredible. Um, they're so selfless. They never want to talk about themselves. This is the definition of a team, and I think this is why you should get behind them.
Uh, if you're going to join a team, if you're going to join a fan base that you have, or follow a team that you haven't, you got to at least follow one player. I talked about the Mariners, Cal Raleigh. This team just minted. I mean, the ink is still drying on the Vladimir Guerrero extension, a guy who was drafted by this team, not traded over and found. Like, he was drafted by the Blue Jays. He came up through their system. His manager now in the big leagues was his AA manager in New Hampshire. They won championships there. That combination of 2 guys is going to give you that, like, man, I can get behind these guys every single day. I can get behind Vladdy. The lineage of his ability to hit comes from his dad. And yet now he also added to that plate discipline. He added to that this postseason. I don't remember his final numbers, but it was like 6 something that he was hitting. Like, he is rising to the moment. And to me, if I'm joining a fan base, I know I'm gonna look at this roster. I'm gonna be like, I know Vladdy's playing every single day, so I'm gonna watch this. Other organizations, it's like, oh man, like, okay, well, we're platooning, so my favorite guy's hitting first. Now it's a lefty. Now he's gonna hit 6th. No, Vladdy's the heart and soul of that order, and everybody else just kind of follows along.
For me, KP, I consider myself a new school and old school fan. I like certain stats. I think they're super helpful. I think we were too reliant 15, 20 years ago or whatever, when I was growing up, on stats that, didn't necessarily tell the whole picture. Okay. But at the same time, there were parts of the game that I fell in love with that I felt like we got so far away from during one of the more dead times in our sport, where I think we lost a lot of young fans. 3 true outcome, super, super slow paced games. We are getting away from that. And for me, if you're a fan of the time period before that and the time period that I think we're getting out of, where it's faster, it is more contact, there's more emphasis on defense. And that's what I'm talking about. Our defensive metrics perfect by no means, but we had nothing for a long period of time growing up. So at least we have something. And that something tells us, when you look at Toronto, aside from the game 3 loss, over the last 3 years, and you watch them play defense, you're like, yeah, that's fun. That's clean. That's good. That's what young kids should look at, right? So for me, if you want that brand of baseball to become more of a thing, then you want that team to win the World Series, because it's a copycat league. And then front offices are going to be like, oh, wait, they're going to go jumping back to their computers. Wait, What are the Blue Jays doing? We aren't doing this. We got to get more into contact defense, a little bit more of an old school style that Eric Chavez, former hitting coach for the Mets, just talked about with us on Foul Territory a day ago. So I think that actually is a factor here. If you enjoy a certain brand of baseball, then you want that brand of baseball to win, and you will see more of it in the sport.
I do believe that they're a top 5, maybe number 1 in base running too. So let's change the narrative on the 3 true outcomes. Let's talk about the Blue Jays' 3 outcomes. They're going to put the ball in play. They're going to run the bases well, and they're going to play defense. Those are your new 3 true outcomes. Most teams should follow that recipe. It helps you win games.
But you got to put a value on it. You got to put a value on it.
What do you mean?
There's an elite value in stolen strikes. There's an elite value in home runs. There's an elite value for pitchers striking out. You have to put a value on it that's going to be manipulated and be able to be taught, because you can never have hit and you can be taught to swing really hard and hit the ball far. You can't have never played and be taught and teach somebody, okay, here's how you base run. You're Dave McKay. That's really what Dalton Varsho brought over to the Blue Jays. His elite base running, and everybody followed suit from what he was taught by Dave McKay. So you have to find that value, and you have to prove to organizations that value is more than the extreme value of a home run, extreme value of strikeouts by pitchers.
I'll throw one other pick your poison example out there. And, we have plenty of Canadians that watch this show. We have many Americans that watch this show. I often root for fan bases that don't get a lot of winning, because I think it's cool when you haven't seen it for a long period of time. And I just mentioned the team, right? The Blue Jays not winning since 1993. I think I have this right, KP, because I did work for NHL Network for a while and I looked it up real quick. But the last Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup, it's hard to believe it, but I think it's 1993, right? The Montreal Canadiens. I think that's what they say out there.
Right. I definitely know
that's the
not
sport
the
that dominates the
Leafs,
country. Yeah, it's not the Leafs. When's the last time
the Leafs are the Leafs are in Toronto, like
1967?
it's a big thing. They haven't won in forever, but people still love the team. Like they go out and support them. Like the country, the city of Toronto, but you have to mention the entire country of Canada wants a winner so bad. And basketball is not even that big of a deal it's a big deal in Toronto and maybe a little bit on the East Coast of Canada. As you get out west, it's not a big thing. But they had over 4 million people at the parade for when the Raptors won it a couple years ago. So these people are just wanting to see a winner so bad.
If you want baseball to continue to be an international sport, then every once in a while, you get another country pulling off a dub, especially when there's only one team in Canada. There's one team outside of the United States, right? So we've seen the sport really go to the next level globally, especially in Japan, with the emergence of Shohei Ohtani as one of the best players we've really ever seen. So for Canada purposes right now, this is a country that hasn't seen any winner in their favorite sport since 1993. Toronto specifically hasn't won since 1967. So there's some cool history here that could be cracked. And it'd be funny if finally they get a title from sports that they truly love on the baseball side before the hockey side. So anyway, if there's something else that you think we're missing reason-wise, drop it in the comments if you're looking at this later.